Speaking of family, let's move to our group member specific segment. One of our favorite things. Is family. And Paul and I were talking about this. Like, what are we going to do for our segment? And Dimitri said, you should talk about gaming with your wives. And
that's a completely accurate impression, by the way.
It's not wrong.
Inaccurate.
He doesn't talk that way on the podcast, though. You know, he puts on a radio voice for the podcast. Okay, we all know this.
That's
okay?
Right.
He, on Facebook, Dimitri described a game as dope the other day.
Yep. No.
In a million years, Dimitri would never use the word dope. So I don't know what's going on with him, but he's putting on some airs. But we do. You play with your wife. I play games with my wife. We play games together. I mean, have we ever spent a Thanksgiving or Christmas together without breaking out the after dinner game that we always play?
That is not in your household. That we definitely always play a game, and I think it's the expectation now.
Yeah. It's become tradition, right?
Absolutely.
Which is a great tradition to introduce. The game that we play most often as a family is Seven Wonders.
That is true.
Because we have 7 people.
And because Greg, my brother-in-law, almost always remembers most of the rules.
and mom, our mother-in-law, both of our mother-in-law, she remembers that game and can quickly get back into playing it.
Yep.
So, which is good. We play Skull and Roses.
That's the game I enjoy the most when we play. Well, enjoy Skull and Roses because your daughter is a killer.
She is amazing. Everybody's got their thing, right? It's not her favorite game to play in the world, but she's pretty good at it. Yeah. It's not the game she's best at either. What is the game that Soleil is best at?
Dora the Explorer Memory.
Any memory game, but yes, especially that one. She is an absolute killer in that. But let's start off with the wives, though, because the wives are an interesting thing. For me, our wives are different, very different. For me, competition is something that my wife has a difficult relationship with. Spousal competition in particular. She does not like it.
Interesting. I did not actually. I would not have verbally. I see it when you say it that way. I don't think I would have put it together. Spousal competition. Very interesting.
Yes. To her mind, she wants an ally. Mm-hmm. She wants somebody that is supporting her, protecting her, defending her, on her side. Mm-hmm. So anytime there is spousal competition, and I'm a competitive guy, so early in our relationship, this happened a lot. This was a problem, and probably is still lurking in the background because of wounds from the past. It is. Sure. Listen, men and women are different. Mm-hmm. I had to learn some things. I think I've learned some things. I think I now am almost never fall into that trap anymore.
That's right.
But because of that, it has, listen, she was never a game player to begin with, but games are a tricky subject with Moira to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. Here's the weird thing, and I think I've figured it out. She will play whatever games we're going to play for the most part, right?
If she's needing to take a nap, needing to go to bed.
Yes,
if that's not the case.
That sort of thing. Like, look, when she can, she will play, and she is game, quote unquote. She is down with it, but it's not an activity that she would choose, except in a few instances. Like, she will choose to play Rummy or Rummy Cube or things like that. Mm-hmm. She will choose to play Mahjong. She will jump at the chance to play Tichu anytime she can. Her game is Tichu.
You know what Dimitri, if he were to meta this, like, he should befriend Moira and then go like, oh, we should play Tichu, and then ultimately force you to play Tichu all the time.
Moira would not enjoy playing Tichu with Dimitri.
You don't know that.
I do. Oh, I do. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So Dimitri loves Tichu. It's his favorite game. Mm-hmm. Dimitri is not good at Tichu. He's not horrible at it, but he's not great at it, right? Moira is really good at Tichu. I mean, scary good at Tichu, which is weird because she's not like when we play Agricola or these other games. It's like she tries at it to some degree, but she doesn't delve into it, right? She doesn't dive into it. But a game like Rummy Cube or Tichu or Mahjong or this sort of stuff, she is 100% focused on the goal of winning that game. And why Tichu in particular works is because she and I play, and we're playing as a team.
Exactly.
And we are defeating the other team. And the other team is always another couple. And we are the best couple because they are the worst couple. And we're the best couple because we sacrifice to each other in the game, and we work together, and we communicate in the only way you can communicate and teach you, which is a very, very small amount of communication allowable in that game. And she feels like we're stronger as a couple playing Tichu.
See, and my retort for Dimitri is like, all he needs to do is find his partner. He doesn't care about winning. He just wants to play. And so to trap you, Moira, him, and whoever he's going to trap in a Mobius strip of like Tichu would be such a win for him and me.
No, but okay, so we played Tichu with people that Moira's like, I don't want to play Tichu with them.
Okay.
Because they're not
competitive.
They're not at the level
Fair enough.
necessary. And I don't know whether or not Dimitri is or not. I will say that we have a couple that we play with that we love playing with because we are doing damage to their marriage playing Tichu with them because they're tremendously competitive and they're very good, and yet we seem to be still
and that phrase right there, doing damage to their that really heartens me because apparently a few episodes back, like Matt referred to me as the villain of our group.
You are,
and I'll take that. Sure. But I thought thinking about this, like, what villain am I? I used to think, Victor Von Doom, like Luther, but as it turns out, I see myself more as I've gotten older, like the Joker. Like I just want to see everyone.
That's the game breaker. Yeah. You want to see everybody burn, right? Yeah.
Right. And so to hear you go like, oh yeah, I'm doing damage to people's marriage. And smile about that. That's
because I'm not really. Because I know we're not. I know we're not really. But it is. But here's the thing. I love to see that in my wife. My wife, who is averse to competition, to see her so gleeful and so like. And we'll take a break every once in a while because the couple will have to go on a phone call or something like that, and the two of us look together. She'll be like, "Oh my God, we got them on the edge. We got them on the ropes. We got to finish them. And I'm like, "Oh, I love you so much."
And this is a great segue to talk about my wife.
Yes.
Moira's sister, Barrington, love of my life, blah blah blah. And anyway,
you're so romantic.
She is. At the core, well, how should I say this? She's a person who really likes, what's the word I want to use? People getting along. They just everyone having fun. No one getting. But, I always say that my favorite part of playing games with Barrington is if I can just push her just enough, you could see her dead shark eyes.
Doll's eyes.
Yeah, that's right.
Lifeless doll's eyes.
And I really enjoy that aspect about her because I don't get to see her murderous, I'm gonna kill you kind of often, and no one really does.
Right, that's your role in the relationship.
That's my role, and I'm trying to give that to her, but she'll often decline, except for some very specific moments, during Seven Wonders, she'll oftentimes get to that point, where she goes, "Oh, I can win."
Yes.
If I just stab Paul right here and give, blah blah blah, to play military
and the sudden secret military jump.
Yes. She'll do that, and then she'll smile, she'll cringe, going "Oh, ha, ha, just kidding, huh? No, but I'm going to kill you." But there's another aspect with playing with my wife that we discovered with playing Wits and Wagers.
Yep.
And Wits and Wagers is a game where if I were to play to my own strategy, I would always lose with 0 things because I'm too much of a gambler.
You and your wife together make a very good team. Individually, neither of you would ever do good because Barrington would never bet enough, and you would always bet the farm.
Exactly. And so what happens is like we've found this rhythm with the wagers where she'll begrudgingly allow me to bet what I want until I lose a lot of money, and then she goes, no more, we're betting this,
and then she becomes the alpha, and she's in charge.
And then towards the end, where like there's that pivot moment where like I have to bet it all, or we lose. I will say, this is that moment. You have to trust me again, and she'll say no, and I go, this is it, and I'll do that, and we'll win. And it's this great thing where neither of us can win. We must, and truthfully, like it isn't the anyone. We're not even blending our strategies. We're just basically deciding when the other person's strategy is better.
Right. Do you know my favorite thing of watching the two of you play Wits and Wagers together?
What was that?
My favorite thing is that here's the other thing about Wits and Wagers, which is interesting. The questions are unknowable.
Sure.
Right? It's in 1995, what percentage of American homes had high-speed internet?
Yep.
Or something like that, right? And you try to figure out its percentage. It's between 1 and 100 and all that sort of stuff. And we are each putting a calculated guess down. We are putting bets. We're putting a number, and we're putting that number out there. And there is a social aspect to that. Because you're not just trying to bet on what you think the right number is, because you've already put a bet down. You've already put a number down there on the board. But then you see what everyone else estimated.
And you get to
and that changes your perception to some degree. And not only that, but also your perception is changed by how confident do people seem to be in what their number is. And who would know better the answer to this question versus another question. What I love is I love how confident you are in your answers and how completely dismissive of your expertise your wife is. The two of you trying to decide where to put those bets, not just like when your wife turns over and she's in charge of the bets is one thing, but also how far away she moves those bets from your guesses, like on a, situationally. But
absolutely, it's I'm not gonna lie, it would be quite the sitcom to watch.
It is phenomenal. It is just such it's such a battle. It's such a tug of war constantly.
Well, we do have very different philosophies. That's what it comes down to. Like our worldview on how to approach gaming is very different. She's I call her the little train that could. She's always just grinding work. I think I can. And I am like a firefighter where I'm doing nothing and then I'm all in. And there are disadvantages to that.
And with me, because my wife, because I know that for the most part, in a lot of these games, she's not that into it. I spend most of my time not playing the game so much as playing the player and trying to help them, the facilitator.
Well, and this is actually what I think is the most important thing when playing with family is if you're a gamer and you're playing with family who has very mixed feelings,
experience, skill, knowledge, and more importantly, feelings, right?
About competition in particular. The most important thing you can do is, I don't want to be this guy again, but shift to the meta. And your win condition should be, how can I make sure everyone has the best time?
Yeah.
You are now put in this position of facilitator. So it doesn't mean that now the game you're playing is actually, how can I get these pieces to work together? It's almost like it's a different engine optimization strategy.
When we play Seven Wonders, I tried to put our mother-in-law on my left because I'm going to be passing her cards twice in the 3 rounds of the game. And she tends not to do very well. But once I see what she's doing, I'm passing her the cards that are going to help her the most, because I want to boost her score. I mean, ideally, what I'm trying to do in these games is I want a game where everybody's within 5 points of each other at the end of the game, and it's a real nail biter at the end, and everyone feels like they did really, really well.
By the way, like when we play Wits and Wagers, Tom and I are always at the opposite end of the table, and we never win.
Oh no,
we never win. Like, and I'm not saying that I'm throwing away the game. I'm just saying that my focus is not on maximizing my win for the cost of everyone's experience.
Yeah, the best play of Wits and Wagers is to put down your guess and then not say a word. Paul and I are talking all the time. We're talking about why he's wrong, why this answer is right out. We're like going over a strategy. We're sort of we're telling stories about why this answer is more right than this answer. And when I put a bet down, when Paul puts a bet down, we're narrating why we're putting this bet here, which is giving everybody a much deeper context in the game and gives them sort of a framework from which to bet on. And then they can laugh at how wrong we were and so on and so forth. And
exactly. And I do the same with Skulls and Roses. With Skulls and Roses,
which the original game is called Skull. So it's just a variety of Skull, but yes.
Yeah. And basically I'm the smack talker. I'm talking crap to Barrington, to Mo, to your daughter, to mom, everyone, so that everyone feels like, oh, let's beat that guy. Let's shut him. And I think ultimately, for me, the metric is how much laughter there is in the game that we're playing. If ultimately, when you're playing a family game with mixed experiences, you're really trying to maximize the good feeling of what's connection. And so as doing that, you just have to what I do is I just adjust my win condition, what I think a win is.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And and figure out where everybody is as best you can in that situation, right? Because the most fun game isn't the game that I win in that. When I'm at game night, I like to win because I'm playing on a more even playing field. But I do. What was interesting with my wife is that she's so into Tichu, and yet I play another cooperative game with her, like Pandemic Legacy, which we played for a while.
Sure.
No, not really interested. To me, I guess this is a tangent now, but to me, it's almost like for her, if she can see the math, like theme works against her.
Sure,
right. If it's a math game, she's more into it, and if she sees there being she wants to be on a team with me, she doesn't want us all to be on a team.
Sure, I mean,
right.
The way that I would describe it is when I see this, most people who are non-gamers don't like games because they feel out of control. Yeah, they feel like they don't have agency, and I'm just pulling buttons. I don't know what's happening, and so the more that you can narrow what their actions are, and therefore they understand what the effects they have. I think, and combine that with the rush of winning or making progress. I think that oftentimes makes people go oh, I enjoy this. There used to be a time where I was playing say party games would be Trivia Pursuit, and we'd be on opposite teams, and she would actively have people play against me. Everyone just against me.
Sure.
And that was their way or her way of getting people to have kind of control of what they were doing, a focus. Whereas sometimes when you have too many options, you don't know what to do. It's overwhelming, especially to my wife.
I think that's true for a lot of our family, that it works that way. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to step back a little bit and to, as you said, play the meta. And
it's a puzzle game to me at that point.
Yeah, it's interesting. There is nothing better than seeing our mother-in-law surprising herself and winning the game. It's just a delight. She's just she just beams.
For me, there are moments in Skulls and Roses when it comes down to, Mom, I think you did this, and he goes, well, I didn't. I don't know what to tell you, Paul. I didn't. I put down the card that I said I put down the card. He goes I don't want to believe you, Mom. I don't know. That's your problem, Paul, but I know what I put. I go, okay, I'm going to trust you.
To your face.
To my face.
To your face. Well, Paul, that was awesome. Thanks for talking to me about that. If you are playing with family over the holidays, try to do some of that. I bet you most of you already do that, but for some of you, that might be a good way to look at things.